Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old to history and anecdotes and more. I'm Sasha and today we're gonna go meet DC's Wonder Man. Yes, you heard that right. If you're always down for an obscure character, hit that like button. So when we talked about the creation of Spider-Woman Jessica Drew and how it arose entirely under copyright duress, we briefly touched on Wonder Man. Now the Wonder Man most are aware of these days is Marvel's Wonder Man. Though you may have missed him, he's one of those characters who's important in comics but manages to somehow be missed in adaptations all of the time. He's kind of important. It depends what area you're reading. His history was marred by lawsuits from DC before Marvel was finally able to go ahead and use him. Partially because of leverage that Marvel had because of moves that DC had made that could be viewed as infringements. But what we also mentioned was that DC themselves had a Wonder Man. Briefly, for a blip, an instant. And we're talking about an actual Wonder Man, not a guy who takes over for Wonder Woman when she's busy, which has happened. We're gonna be looking at the Wonder Man who got his own whole issue. It's a tale of petty jealousy. Get ready. It's got the pettiest Superman, my favorite kind. Classic soups could get pretty bitter and petty, and it's always hilarious. So this Wonder Man story is the main story of the 163rd issue of Superman from the first ever run. The full title is Superman, featuring the hero who was greater than Superman. And Superman is on the cover complaining about being a has-been. Look, up in the sky, a drama queen. So the issue opens with a parade for Wonder Man, with Clark flying overhead and wondering how it came to this. It all started when Superman was off about to help with an experimental reactor test. Because in the Silver Age, you could pretty much get Superman to do anything. Do you need somebody to show up at your birthday party? Superman's your man. Faster than a speeding bullet, able to make more balloon animals than a locomotive. However, right as Superman's about to construct the shield that they need for this test, Wonder Man shows up, and he's already built it. So he's just gonna go ahead and do the test. And the scientists are just like, oh, flying stranger, go right on ahead. See? Lex is right. The people are too trusting, and it is all Superman's fault. Clark tries scanning him to see if he's a robot. He's not, and he follows him around looking for invulnerabilities, and he doesn't seem to have any. In fact, they seem to have the same power set. Also, the people instantly start forgetting about Superman. Superman wasn't even needed. Whoever this Wonder Man is, he's terrific. Missed opportunity to say he's wonderful. They don't even whisper. It's really harsh. So Superman goes to check if Wonder Man could be Kryptonian, but nobody's left the bottle city of Kandor, and everybody who should be in the Phantom Zone is in the Phantom Zone. While he's doing all of this, Wonder Man is out there increasing his rep, just doing all the things that Superman would normally be doing. So finally Superman goes to confront him, because if anybody's gonna do good in Metropolis, it's gonna be Superman. And just in case you were thinking, oh well, maybe Wonder Man's a really great guy, he's just super keen and he wants to impress his hero. Well, here's their first meeting. Quit trying to pry into who I am. Why don't you realize you're a has-been and permanently retire your Clark Kent identity? So not only does he already know exactly who Clark is, he's also been carrying around kryptonite inside a lead sack, just for this moment. Fearful of losing everything, Superman backs off. And we're back at the parade, and now it's Wonder Man's time for backstory. Well, it turns out that Wonder Man is actually one of Superman's emergency robots, and he was called Ajax. Superman had these robots that were exact duplicates of himself in robotic form that could go off and do things when he was too busy, doing other things hopefully. Also, he apparently always talked to them really pointedly and nothing but exposition. I have to return to my Clark Kent identity now, guard my trophies in the bottle city of Kandor, and the Phantom Zone projector, Ajax. One day, Ajax is sent out to deal with a meteor shower, and while he's there, he saves a damaged ship. However, he gets hurt in the process, or rather damaged. In gratitude for being saved, the inhabitants of the spaceship turn him into a real boy. Well, actually, they give him a chemically made android body. Just go with it. He's not a clone, he's a chemical android. They also tell him to fight the power and that he doesn't have to be Superman's servant anymore. He can live his own life. They also give him some kryptonite because they know that Superman's gonna be petty and jealous when he gets back. So Ajax has been living his best, most Superman aggravating life, but it's all too much when he saves Lois. And we all know how much Clark likes doing that. He also puts the moves on her. Scary, intense moves. You know, Miss Lane, I believe the strange emotion I feel for you is love. I never thought that I would love anyone. Yeah, this is his first time meeting her. Run, Lois. He wants to wear your face. Deciding he's just had enough of everything, Superman flees to the Fortress of Solitude, but Wonder Man's there too. We need to take a brief moment to give a shout out to the giant key that Superman used to use to open the fortress. Just a huge key that only he could lift. Later he had a small key that was really heavy that was equally silly. I think right now he has a scanner, but you know what I say? Bring back the big key. Live a little. Superman and Wonder Man duke it out, with Wonder Man winning thanks to the kryptonite. However, then the aliens who turned him into a chemical android show up, and it turns out they weren't just regular benevolent aliens, no, they're actually the Superman Revenge Squad, which is exactly what it sounds like. Different villains who want revenge on Superman for various reasons. Their roster has obviously changed over the years. They sent Ajax down to make Superman jealous and take him out for them, but haha, it's plot twist time. It turns out that Ajax was onto them from the start. The first thing he did when they put him in his chemical android body with powers was he used them to eavesdrop on them. He was just playing along to take down Superman so that eventually they could team up and take on the Revenge Squad. And he didn't just come to Earth and tell Superman this because, well, I'm convinced he just wanted to be a jerk to him. I think that Clark asked him to polish the glass on the city of Kandor too many times. Also, since we're revealing things, Clark now claims that he knew that Wonder Man was a robot at least since the start of their fight, to which I say, sure, Jan, okay. Let's let him have this. But it doesn't matter, because after they defeat the Revenge Squad, it turns out Wonder Man's chemical android body was only designed for a few days. So he's dying right now. This instant. This means that Clark doesn't have to deal with his intense jealousy issues, or the fact that the city replaced him and had a new hero and was actually throwing them a parade within the span of just a few days. This is why he's insecure. Metropolis did this to him. Society's to blame. So Wonder Man dies and gets an epitaph that really made me laugh for some reason. Wonder Man, formerly called Ajax. He was born a robot, but he died a man. I mean, yeah, it's accurate. I guess that's what his life was. So that was the tale of Wonder Man. It's a good thing he died because Clark would probably have killed him. The story is a fun one and just one of a couple, as this is an older comic. There are several stories within it. I love reading old comics. They can be a bit harder for modern readers to get into for several reasons. The art style, some of the writing choices, the pacing, the overall silliness depending upon the era. But if you give it a chance and accept it on its own terms, it can be a really fun experience. Or at the very least, an interesting one. Which Wonder Man do you prefer? Let me know down below. Do you have a favorite petty Superman moment? If so, share it down there too. And thanks so much for watching Casually Comics. Please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you never miss a vid. I'm Sasha, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.